Good morning. Hope all is well with you and your family. I wanted to come before you and give you your latest local real estate market update for Columbia, South Carolina, and surrounding areas. So, if you've been watching the news, you know that the Fed recently raised the Fed fund rate once again. So, that's the ninth time in the last 12 months that they've raised the Fed fund rate. Now, the Fed fund rate is just the rate that banks have to pay, interest rates that banks have to pay for overnight lending. Now, typically, we'll see the Fed raise these rates when they're trying to slow the economy, and they'll typically lower these rates when they're trying to speed up the economy. So, because of inflation, they've been raising the rates. We started out around 0% for a Fed fund rate, and now we're up to 5%. So, unfortunately, it has had the desired effect as far as slowing the real estate market as well. But the market is still moving. So, that's the great news that despite what they're doing, the market is still moving. Now, existing home sales are very strong. We had signed contracts on new homes rise for 3 months in a row. We also had existing home sales rise 14.5% from January to February. Now that is the first time in the last year that we've seen an increase on month to month, and it was a big increase, 14.5%. So that lets us know that buyers are getting out there in the market and they're resuming their searches and making their home ownership dreams come true. Now, the great news is, as I mentioned earlier, for 4 weeks in a row, the interest rates, the mortgage interest rates have decreased. That means today you can buy more house than you could last month with the same amount of money. So the lower those interest rates, the better it is for buyers out there because you can afford more home and your mortgage payments are going to be less. All right, so we like lower mortgage rates, but the Fed is trying to slow things down. So we understand why they're doing what they're doing, but we're going to move forward. Inventory levels. So this is the main driver of home prices. So a lot of people are out there, just waiting for home prices to drop. I don't see it happening anytime soon because inventory is very low. It's just supply and demand. When there's very little supply and there's good demand, guess what? Prices are going to stay elevated. So homeowners are still enjoying the highest home values that we've seen in this country. So that's a great news from a homeowner standpoint. It's a great news from a seller standpoint. There is much opportunity out there to capitalize on your home values these days. So we're still in an intense seller's market. In our MLS, we have about 1.7 months worth of inventory. That means it'll take 1.7 months to buy every home that's on the market. Now, for a balanced market, that's 6 months is what we expect. 6 months worth of inventory is balanced between buyer and seller. Anything below 6 months is considered a seller's market. Anything above 6 months is considered a buyer's market, meaning the buyer has more opportunity, they have more leverage because there's so many homes out there. When it's less than 6 months, the sellers have the leverage. Now, we're at 1.7 months in our inventory, so it's an extreme seller's market still. And in the area that I focus in, Northeast Columbia, Blythewood, Elgin, Kershaw County, we only have 1.4 months of inventory. So we're seeing multiple offers still, but there's still some opportunity. From a buyer standpoint, we have lower interest rates. Interest rates have decreased 4 weeks in a row. The expectation and the prayer is that we will continue to see those decreases. But we do have 4 weeks worth of data that show that we're going in the right direction. So if you have had your search on a pause, you may want to reconsider. We also have Palmetto Heroes that is rolling out. I think that's going to start on the 13th. Don't quote me. It's either the 13th or the 23rd. But that's a first-time home buyer program that incentivizes home ownership. So that's a grant that you can get. I want to say the amount is $10,000 that'll go towards your down payment and closing costs. So that is huge. Now, Palmetto Heroes is only for certain professions. That will be your firefighters, your police officers, your medical professionals, your veterans. So if you're one of those, and there are some others that I didn't mention, but you can look into Palmetto Heroes to get that grant to help you make your homeownership dreams come true. So basically, that's where we stand today. We'll get another update from the Fed here, I think the second week. So next week, we should hear from them again to see what they're going to do. The expectation is they are going to continue to rise because they want inflation. They are going to continue to rise the Fed fund rate because they want inflation at a 2% level. So we aren't there yet. So we're going to get there eventually. But the great news is the real estate market is moving. If you have any questions about what's going on in our local real estate market, you can give me a call. There will be a link at the bottom of this video that you can schedule some time to sit down and talk with me about your specific situation. If you're looking to sell a home, had great success with our recent sellers and have two more they're going to be closing next week, two that closed the 2 previous weeks, all multiple offer scenarios. So it is a great time to sell your home. Also, when you're coupled with the right agent from a buyer standpoint, hey, you can still make your homeownership dreams come true. And we have the great interest rate decline that we're seeing as well. But click the link below if you'd like to schedule some time. If not, you can give me a call or you can shoot me a text at 803-497-7112. Look forward to hearing from you. Hope you have a great day. Have a great weekend.